Hey UKDCers, yeah I know, it's long overdue, but here it is, the number 29 by Northfield, finally on the table for review. This is in blood red jig bone if you hadn't noticed. They come in these, which most people have already seen. It will tell you exactly what it is on the top. It's the number 29 pattern, so that's what the 29 is. The number 1 means it's a clip point blade, so you can look it up. 3 means there's 3 different knives on it, or blades or tools. And the number 19 is made in 2019, so that's what that all means if you ever wondered what all that stuff is. This was £170 from mikesknives.co.uk, which is a fair price for a piece like this. I don't know if he's still got any of these. You can certainly buy them in America, but it's worth giving him a call or sending him an email just to check. Absolutely lovely gentleman. He'll email you back a list of what he's currently got in stock, and you can go and look that up, see if you like it, that kind of stuff. But he's the only registered UK GEC seller, like the only official one, so if you're looking for one, go to him. So action on this. Absolutely lovely. Wonderful walk and talk. I think this is actually easier to close than it is to open. Yeah, it is. It definitely feels it. I'll throw up the spring strength scale on the screen now for you. I've got it for the clip point and the sheep's point. Didn't bother with the yawl or the leather punch, whatever that is. You get the clip point blade on this. You get a secondary sheep's foot, which is nice. And then you also get your leather punch, or reamer, whatever you want to call it. You do get a unexcelled shield on here, and unexcelled means exactly what you think it is. It just means no one excels them. It's a little joke by Northfield. Very good, lads. It's just it's its own shield, so you got different types of shields for these, and that one there is the unexcelled shield. Hardware on this, it's all pinned, so obviously there's no taking this apart, no washers, it's just runs straight onto brass liners. You obviously got your bone handle. Not sure what kind of bone, but doesn't really say, but it's bone. Lovely jigging, look at that. It is wonderfully done. You get this nice dark burnt bit in the middle, and then it fades out to red on the sides. Do really like this colour on this one. This is probably my favourite colour of the 3 I have. Although, I'd say this one, yeah, it's pink, or elderberry, but it's a lot more interesting in places, so I'd say this one's quite similar to this one, where it's just dark in the middle and then it goes out to light on the sides. But all in all, I think this is probably the most pleasing at a glance I have. So grip on these are funny, these multi-tool traditionals. So this one isn't too much of a problem, but if I bring out this one, for instance, so this one looks like it's supposed to be real comfortable because you've got this like cut out here for your finger. So you go to use your blade, and there's still a blade in the way of that cut out. It's not uncomfortable, but if you get both knives out without cutting yourself, that's better. Your fingers slot into there. This almost has that problem. Now again, you can see when you open this, it's got a little curve there that your fingers are supposed to slot into, but you've got 2 knives sitting there. It's not so bad though, because they're almost flush with the liners there. However, if you're using one of the other ones, and this is the main reason I've only used that primary blade, you get a huge point of the clip point there just sticking up, and yeah, you can really feel it. I wouldn't want to use this for an extended period of time. Not that I'd ever use a slip joint for forever. It's just a nice, pleasant little job, this one. Obviously, it doesn't have a cutout on the left hand, but I'm sure you'd get over that if you were left-handed. You'd be able to open this, no problems. And the fit and finish on these, it's a GEC, it's flawless. I cannot find any fit and finish issues, really. There are 2 issues I have on this, but it's not fit and finish related, really. I don't think. Other than those, it's wonderful. But I'll get to them when they're relevant. So blade material on this is 1095, which is it's okay. It's really not the best steel, but it's, you know, at least it's got a name. It's not just stainless steel. There you go. Edge retention. Now, this is my first problem. I don't know if it's the heat treat or if it's just 1095 sucks or whatever, or if it's the factory, like, fatigued edge, like, where they tool harden it. It sucks. If I go through cardboard with this, without question, I'm having to resharpen this. Well, strop this at the end of the day, which, do you know, that's really not the end of the world? But HCR13 has outperformed this. I recently borrowed a bird turn from EDC Life. Go and check his channel out, by the way, for review, and that lasted about 3 days through, you know, a fair bit of cardboard. You know, it's not crazy amounts. It's not like I'm taking deliveries all day. But this, if I cut like 2 boxes with this, it starts to get shiny spots on the end, which sucks a bit. It's, like I said, it's a functional pocket knife, though. It's really not the end of the world. The steel just seems a little soft for me. Also, the other thing is, if you're gentle with this, it's fine. And I don't think, yeah, there's no issue right now. As long as you close this properly like that, you're fine. If you slam this home, though, you will absolutely get blade wrap just on the end of this clip point, I've noticed. Like I said, it's all it takes is for you to take the proper time to close that blade. So I don't know if I can really fault Northfield for that, but, you know, if you're in a hurry and you just need to quickly close this, then you're probably going to give yourself some blade wrap just on the tip of the clip point there. I haven't noticed it on any of the others, but then again, I barely used any of the others. So there's that. Just something to consider. Billboarding on this, you of course get your Northfield unexcelled etch there, which is, I can completely leave that. Sorry for all the scratches and use marks and that lot and the patina on this. I have been abusing this. Always intended these as used knives. But yeah, look at that patina forming. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but yeah, this is really going to be a lovely looking. There you go, look, you can sort of see it all at the bottom there, all that staining. I'm looking forward to this being a really nice patinaed knife. This will be the first one I've got that's got a proper patina on it. Also, you get your little stamping, which is very pleasant. You've got Great Eastern Cutlery, Titusville, PA, and Northfield Unexcelled, made in the USA on the clip point. Then on the sheep's foot, you have, yeah, just on this side, you've got the model number, all that stuff. And then even on the punch, you have the steel, which is just carbon, 1095 carbon. So there you go, you get all that, which I think that's fantastic. I like to see, like, the stamping on this is very clear, very crisp. It's not poorly done. It's done all above the line, so, you know, even when it's opened, you can still just about read that made in USA, even though this is like a curved thing. So I'm a big fan of that. Centering on this, basically perfect. And same for that one. I don't know if we can, even the reamer, to be fair, looks pretty good, even though I wasn't even going to consider that since it's a reamer. But yeah, they're all pretty damn good on this. It will get a bit of rub on it, which I think I've put on there somewhere. But that's just from pushing the blade in. If you're careful when you open it like a proper person, not like a monkey-fisted idiot like I do, you can avoid those scratches. But you know, I'm too heavy-handed with these, so I do scratch the blades a little bit opening it. But again, if you use the nail nick properly, you'll be fine. Blade play, as with all traditionals, there is a very small amount, and that's due to the lack of washers. Really, it's not even, I don't think it's even visible. You can't really feel it. You can just hear a tiny little click in the blade as you're moving it side to side. It's not noticeably wiggling. It's just, if you do that, well, you can see it wiggling up here. There you go. That's about the extent of it. It's really minor, and it has to be a thing, because if you do it too tight, then you're going to start eating away at the brass liners and things and these bolsters here, because obviously that's what it's using instead of washers. but it's completely acceptable for a traditional. I'm totally fine with that. Let's do a little length compare. So let's get that one out. I'll put a couple of things on the screen here if I can be bothered. That's your mini grip. There's the Benchmade 940. And there is a paramilitary 2. Obviously, it's a traditional, so it's not going to be that big. I mean, the only big traditionals are your Grandaddy Barlows and things like that. And for the UK, we've got ourselves a Victorinox Pioneer, a Victorinox Classic SD, and a UK PK. Oh, there you go, a little bit smaller than a Victorinox, a Pioneer at least, obviously bigger than the SD, and therefore smaller than the UK PK as well. But that means it's well within the UK legal limit, so you don't need to worry about that. That's all good. So in conclusion on this, I absolutely love this. This is maybe still my favourite. I need to use this a little bit more first to decide, because this is one I've been chasing for a while. Like I said, if this colour was this, I'd still want all these interesting like colour fades where it goes to like white and you can see through the bone and things like that. I do think this is really beautiful, even if it is very pink. But I want, if I had this in this colour, but with all those fades, this would be perfect. As it is, this one, it's a very nice colour. It's, I'd say this side's a lot better actually. There's a lot more variation in this side. This side's largely blacked out kind of thing, so you're not really seeing much of that red. It's just all ultra dark. But it's a very pleasant colour nonetheless, even with a lack of variation. So I don't know. Once I've carried this, I do quite also like this one, although amber's very definitely inferior to this, and it's the same sort of dealio where it's one main colour in the middle and then just a little bit lighter at the outside, instead of the beautiful variation you get on something like this, where it goes from like a crimson in the middle to a nice white like pink, and then it's all white on the outside, where you can see actually through the bone kind of thing, and where dye's penetrated. But I'd probably say this is the most pleasant colour out of all three of them so far. This one's a very nice one, but I haven't really used this enough yet. I need to start carrying this more, because this is well overdue as well. I don't regret this at all. I will never trade this one away. This is definitely a keeper for me, 100%. Even if I got offered a very attractive price for it. I mean, obviously everything's got its price, but it'd have to be stupid to get rid of something like this. I'm really in love with this one. But yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.